The call came just as the faint smell of pine still lingered in the living room. My wife's sister spoke with a syrupy softness that didn't quite mask the cruelty in her words. "Don't come for Christmas," she said. "My billionaire boyfriend will be there." I blinked, confused. "And what does that have to do with me?" Before she could answer, her mother's sharper voice cut in from the background. "We'll pretend we don't know you. It's better that way. Don't embarrass us." The words stung more than I expected. They didn't just want me absent, they wanted me erased. I glanced at the blinking Christmas lights in my modest home, where my 10-year-old daughter sat at the table, carefully decorating cookies. A wave of anger surged in me, but I forced it down. "All right," I said simply, and ended the call. But I didn't argue, I didn't beg, and I didn't sulk. Instead, I smiled. Because I knew something they didn't. When her boyfriend saw what I had planned, it wouldn't just ruin their perfect little Christmas, it would shatter the fantasy they'd been building. Later that night, after tucking my daughter into bed, I pulled out an old leather photo album. Not just a collection of memories. This album held leverage. One photo stood out. It showed me at a gala, shaking hands with a man. Not just any man. The very same billionaire my wife's sister was flaunting now as her prize. Back then, I had sat on the board of a logistics company, and his corporation was one of our biggest partners. He knew me by name. He knew my reputation. I wasn't the pitiful nobody my in-laws liked to paint me as. I scanned the photo and added a short caption, *old friends reunited. The rest was simple. I called in a favor from a friend in catering, one of the guys working that party. I slipped him a flash drive with the image and asked him to quietly slip it into the family slideshow they had planned for the evening. When the night came, their house gleamed with fairy lights and glittering glasses of champagne. My wife's sister clung to the billionaire's arm, already wearing the smug smile of someone who thought she'd secured her crown. Her parents paraded him proudly, bragging to guests about his wealth, his success, his presence at their table. "Now this is a real man," her mother gushed, loud enough for all to hear. "Not like some people we know." I wasn't there to hear their laughter, but I knew it came. Halfway through dinner, the lights dimmed. The projector whirred to life. A parade of curated moments began. Family vacations, birthdays, smiling faces meant to show how perfect their lives were. Then the image appeared. Me and the billionaire, shaking hands, with the words glowing beneath. *old friends reunited. The room froze. The billionaire leaned forward, fork suspended, eyes narrowing at the screen. "That's Liam," he said carefully, pointing at me in the photo. "You never mentioned you were related to him." My wife's sister went pale. Her lips parted, but no sound came. He chuckled softly. "We've worked together before. His ideas saved my company millions. If his family, then why isn't he here tonight?" The room fell silent, every eye shifting toward her parents. They fumbled for an explanation, their words breaking apart. My wife's sister went pale, as though the blood had drained from her face. In that moment, I knew the real drama was just beginning. The billionaire's gaze sharpened as it landed on her. "You never mentioned knowing Liam. Why hide it?" She stumbled over her words. Irrelevant. Just some failure." Her protest was sliced apart by his voice, cold and unyielding. "Irrelevant? This man guided me when my company was sinking. He's the reason I stand here today. Without him, I would have lost everything." A murmur spread through the crowd. Guests leaned in, eager for scandal. He turned to her parents. "And you chose to exclude him? While parading me around like a prize?" Her mother's lips trembled. We didn't think. That much is obvious." His tone dropped lower, like ice. "You've shown me exactly who you are, users, parasites. You thought wealth would blind me, but loyalty means more than money, and you've proven you have none." The audience gasped. Phones came out, recording every second. He stepped back from my wife's sister as if she carried something contagious. "I won't tie myself to a family that disrespects the only person here worth honoring." Then he lifted his glass, but his toast wasn't for them. To Liam, the only true man in this family. The clinking of glasses followed, some hesitating, others eager to join. My wife's sister stood motionless, her face collapsing under the weight of humiliation. And me? I wasn't even there. I was sitting by the fire, celebrating Christmas with my daughter, smiling as my phone buzzed with news of their downfall. Sometimes the sweetest justice is watching arrogance collapse under its own weight. 5 days later, the calls began. First my wife, then her mother, then her sister, her voice frantic and trembling. Liam, please, talk to him. Tell him it was a misunderstanding. He won't answer us. The media, our reputation. I listened in silence. These were the same voices that once told me, we'll pretend we don't know you. Now they scrambled to prove they did. But I gave them nothing. By then, the billionaire had already cut all ties. He'd told every partner, every board, every circle of influence exactly what they had done: greed, betrayal, hypocrisy. Their family name became toxic. Invitations stopped coming. Investors walked away. Friends kept their distance. Meanwhile, my life soared. That one photograph, a symbol of loyalty and genuine respect, opened doors I never imagined. Calls came in, new opportunities, old partners reaching back out. My daughter and I enjoyed dinners where people raised glasses to me, not for money, but for integrity. One snowy night, as I tucked her into bed, she asked softly, "Dad, are you happy now?" I kissed her forehead and smiled. Happier than ever. Because, sweetheart, sometimes the greatest revenge is simply living well, while those who tried to break you drown in the emptiness they built for themselves. From that year on, Christmas belonged to us again.